responsibilities of the CEC is essentially the school board in our district. Everybody likes to change the name everywhere. And I also was on the school leadership team at PS 31 for a few years. And the job of the CEC is a parent group that's elected to represent the district. And represent the district with things like, oversight and accountability toward the school. It's also for, ensuring, providing that important input. What it is not about is inflicting any sort of political agenda on the school district or on the members. So that's what I think is not happening. There also need to adhere to the bylaws of the CEC, the bylaws that the city of New York has put together, that these people, actually the CEC, from what I understand, are paid a stipend. They're paid by the city to do a job, and that job is to represent the community, the school community, all members of the school community. And the bylaws are that you allow everyone to speak. The bylaws are that you are supposed to be meeting in person, and that's not happening. And you can't push people out of the conversation because they might disagree with you. And again, it's about being able to have difficult conversations. There are some difficult conversations to be had right now, and you should be able to do that if you're in a place of leadership. So again, our country, separation of church and state, separation of politics from our schools, and full stop, that needs to stop. And it's not happening. So I think that, I know that there's been, I'm not sure what the status is now, but the way it's been running, simply, they're not operating as a CEC.
Thank you for that.
Yep.
Hi, my name is Christopher Leon Johnson. I'm from Crown Heights, Brooklyn, the borough. I want to know what's your take about congestion pricing. There's a lot of chatter online from, I can't say the name here because the opponent is for it fully with no exemption. So we want to know, are you for congestion pricing, or you're against it, or you're for it with exemptions? So we want to know what's your take on that. And one more question is, what's your take about the Berry Street situation, the open streets in the district? Will you do different from your opponent because she's for it, she's down with it? And then one more question is, what's your take about the North Brooklyn BID situation with Lincoln Wrestler and the North Brooklyn Park ran by? We want to know what's your take about the North Brooklyn Park situation, that they didn't want to form BID within North Brooklyn, Greenpoint. And we want to know, are you willing to help the people in the district to stop it, because this is more like a grift and a scam. And the executive director admitted on camera that she was going to.
Yeah. Well, how it works practically, how it was formed. So there are ways. So I'm for exemptions. Yes. A lot of our teachers who cannot afford to live in New York City in the communities in which they teach have to live elsewhere. And that would put how much money that they'd be paying every day to go in and teach our children? Thousands of dollars a year. So yes, I am for that exemption. Again, there are nuances to things. We can't be 100% one way without thinking of the ripple effects to our working families. And there have to be things that are thought about, and there have to be exceptions. So that's my stance. In terms of Berry Street, that was something that was brought about. Open streets sound wonderful in theory, of course. That was something that was introduced during COVID, and it's continued to stay. But one of the concerns is ADA compliance, and again, inviting the people who are most affected into the conversation to talk about it and to talk about the model, and to when you're asking people to pay money into something, you have to be leery of that. The other thing too is that there are some businesses that are affected that aren't actually, street-facing businesses. They might be manufacturers and things like that. So what we can start off with is a merchants association that would allow people to be a part of and to collaborate and to, work together on things that they can do to improve the district.
Thank you. This lady and then this lady.
First, it's not a question.
Hi.
First is training. I've gone to many of these meetings. Nobody hearing you. They're not listening to you. I got the mic on, you're trying. When you come to talk, come up here. Look at your, like, don't stand here. This is the worst place, and I have the right to say this because I did this for a living. What happens is, you see the acoustics, everything goes here.
5 minutes.
Right?
Barbecue.
All right. That's number one. Number two, I have an answer, and I would like to collaborate the way everything you've said all day all ties into each other. So obviously, gentrification means nobody can go. Then, of course, you got congestion. So everybody wins. No, everybody loses. Only the wealthy win, and the non-residents win. So I propose an idea.
Sure.
An idea that we should do this in the city and the state. Not, obviously, you can't do it federally. Why isn't rent a deduction on our taxes?
That's a very good question.
And particularly the city and the state, they're notorious for charging so much. Okay, it's one that can be done.
Yeah.
Second one, by the way, there is no crisis on the border. There is a crisis. It's a human crisis. I was just in El Paso, Texas. Okay, my brother is a commander in the military of the base, and my nephew works for those people who surveil. These people want jobs, and they want to be safe. That's all it is. And this country has continued to rape, exploit, and tear apart South America. These people don't want to come here. They want to stay home. And the talk that we're hearing in D.C. is bad.
Ms. Nancy,
That's it.
do you have a question?
No, that was it. But I want to tell her, can you get anybody here, these immigrants, can we do a program with Mayor Adams about getting these people an ability to work?
I would like to.
Okay, we're going to Oh, okay. Nothing. Speak into that, please. My name's Sheila. Into it. Speak into it.
Into the mic, not like that.
It's all right. Don't.
And I just want to know, is the G train going to get any better? Because the service really bad. Okay.
Well, I'm not in office
Wait.
yet.
Her name was Sheila.
Hi, Sheila.
And she wanted to know if the G train was going to get any better.
I hope so. 24 hours that is going to outline all of this. We need safe, reliable public transportation that people actually want to use.
Thank you.
So it is 5:30, and we're going to do one more question. And I'm going to say that we're going to do 2 more questions because I've seen your hand. If that's okay with everybody? Okay. You want to have her speak really into you?
Hi, my name is Christine, and one of the things that haven't been touched upon here is the environment. And I'm an environmentalist who has fought for this community for the last 50 years.
Thank you.
And I would like to know whether you will be willing to help the Superfunds, particularly for the Superfund of the Newton Creek, to help in the waters for the EPA, but as well, you have a lot to say about DEC when it comes to the uplands. All of the uplands are dirty. Everything is, it's got a lot of different contaminants, and they're all seeping in. So actually, what's the use? And there is also the chlorinated pool there. And one more question: how you feel about senior housing? Our community is getting really old, and most of the community by now.
Thank you.
So I live in the Meeker Plume, and my son has asthma. So obviously and I intend to continue to live here. Regardless of that, though, the environment here, there is a lot of work that needs to be done to remediate it. There's been also recently with the cleanup of Newtown Creek, there's been a lot of back and forth and finger pointing again, we need to come together and get this work done. How long have we been waiting? The Newhart building, a mess. You know, I have friends who live right there, and then we also have the housing that's built right there. We have a lot that needs to be done here, and we need coordination from multiple parties to help get it done. You know, other concerns that I have are about, you know, the housing that's built right on the river. It's not stable. I mean, we live in a flood zone. People's houses are being flooded every day. Every time there's a rainstorm, you know, people have to, you know, the water overflow from the big buildings is running into their homes. So there are a lot of issues that need to be tackled. And again, I'm committed to working with people, listening. You know, we haven't talked about schools, and I know we don't have time. That's, you know, something that I know deeply about, and I have learned about a lot of other things and know about a lot of things in the community from living here. But, you know, again, this is an issue that is affecting people in the community. Like the kitchen, it's not just a kitchen table issue. It's an issue that is affecting people's health and people's ability, you know, to actually continue to live in this district. People are leaving. People are moving in here not even being told about this situation. So there has to be transparency. We have to come together. It needs to be safe. It needs to be equitable. Again, you know, look at some of the areas that are experiencing the worst pollution. There is a lack of education and outreach. There's a lot of stuff that's posted on social media about meetings, but not everybody has the internet. Not everybody has Instagram. Not everybody even has a mobile device. So, you know, when we're talking about outreach and educating people and pulling them into the conversation and telling them about what's affecting their day-to-day health,